Hey everyone, this is 𝗕𝗹𝗹 from Alchemist Academy. Today I will be discussing one of the latest questions from summarized written text. It is under the name 𝗂𝐿. We will be using our very own Alchemist AI PT practice software to solve these questions, and for those of you who haven't signed up on the AI as yet, grab your free access and try these questions on the AI. Now, before we start the summit, there's a few do's and don'ts that you should keep in your mind. Number one, do not write fewer than 5 words or more than 75 words because that is what your form or your word limit is. Do not write your summary in capital letters because if you write your summary in capital letters, you could end up getting 0 straight away. Do start the summary with a capital letter and end it with a full stop. Please make sure that you finish your answer before time and you revise it, and your answer should have a full stop at the end, because if you do not have a full stop, even though your answer is fully correct, you could end up getting a 0. Last but not the least, do not write with a comma, splice or a run-on sentence. You could get 0 for your summary straight away, even though everything in your summary is absolutely right from the word limit to the content. And for those of you who do not know what is a comma splice or a run-on sentence, I already did a video on it. Feel free to check it on our YouTube channel, which is under the name Alchemist Academy. Now, for those of you who've already signed up for the AI and have your access, and even our existing students, the summary that I'm doing is 167. This is the latest question. It is on page number 17. It's under the title of 𝗂𝐿. So I will be solving this question on the AI now, and let's have a look how we go. Alright everyone, so the summary that I was talking about is this one here, which is under the name 𝗂𝐿. Let's start with the summary here. So let's have a look. Now, first thing that we should always do while doing a summarized written text is quickly skim and scan. And as you can see, it says 𝗂𝐿, it says weather, 𝗂𝐿, warmer, 𝗂𝐿, and it is talking about the air. It's basically about the weather and the air. Okay, so let's start reading it. So it says that what makes it 𝗂𝐿? Like the heat index, 𝗂𝐿 is a feels-like condition, except it has to do more with how breathable the air feels than how hot it feels. The 𝗂𝐿ier the weather, the less chance you'll feel cool because of the decreased evaporation rates, which is why the following weather conditions are notoriously linked to the muggiest days and nights. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, because the evaporation is a bit less, that's why you feel a bit hotter. Warm air temperatures generally of 17 degrees Fahrenheit or above. The warmer air, the more moisture it will be able to hold. High moisture, the more moisture there is in the air, the heavier it feels. And the low winds, the less the wind there is, the fewer air molecules that are passing over your skin, evaporating and cooling you off. Since mugginess expresses how moist the air feels, you might think that relative humidity would be a good indicator of how muggy it feels outside. However, dew point temperature is actually a better measure of mugginess. Why is that? Dew point not only gives you an indication of how moist the air is, but how warm it is as well. Okay, fair enough. Since dew point temperatures can go as high as, but never higher than the actual air temperature. So if the dew point is higher, it means both air moisture and temperature probably are too. Okay, so what I learned from this summary is, first of all, they used a phrase called 𝗂𝐿, and that's what they're trying to explain, like what exactly is 𝗂𝐿. And they're talking about the, like how do you measure the temperature? How do you measure the heaviness of the air? How do you measure whether the air is quite muggy or not? So that's what the summary is about. Okay. Remember, topic sentences can be found in 3 ways. Either you look at introduction, either you look at a conclusion, which is the sentence at the top and the sentence at the bottom. The second way to do this, the third way to do this is, my apologies, third way to do this is you look at all the conjunctions in the passage. Okay. If I was you, and if I was to go with, let's say if I was to go with the introduction, like what are the things that I should pick up from the introduction? Let's have a look over here. Now, if I was to pick up things from the introduction, I would have said probably what makes it 𝗂𝐿. I would go with this one here. Okay, let's have a look. 𝗂𝐿 is feels like condition. Now, one thing is, please do not add the the punctuations, these two punctuations here not needed. Okay, you do not need to add this at all over here. Okay, now moving forward with this, if you look at this, it is a feels like condition. Why is it like a feels like condition? If you read the next sentence, this is what is the explanation. So let's say if I just write, because the muggier the weather, the less chance you'll feel cool. That feel cool because of decreased evaporation rates. Okay, because of the decreased evaporation rate. Okay, then if you look at this, it's a further explanation like what happens when there's decreased evaporation and what happens on the warmer days and warmer nights. You don't need all this explanation here. Okay, now the next thing that you can add though over here is, let's have a look if you would want to, is what we can talk about is we can talk about the measurement, because that's the next thing that they were talking about, right? They're talking about the dew point measurement over here. So in this case, if I was to add this, we can add, let's say this thing over here, the dew point temperature is actually a better measure of mugginess, right? Okay, so in this case, I will just add the word evaporation rates. And let's say if I just do more over, if I just add this dew point temperature, okay, let's just leave it. Don't worry about it because it is what it is in the question, so we are not adding anything. It's just my family trying to get it correct. Temperature is actually a better measure of mugginess. It's a better measure of mugginess. Okay. Now, why is it a better measure of mugginess? Because why is that? The answer is here. Why? The answer is given here. As dew point not only gives not only would say not only indicates, I would just write it like this, not only indicates, let's start like that, not only indicates how moist the air is, not only how moist it is, but also how warm it is as well. Okay, basically, I'm just picking it from here, but how warm it is as well. Okay. Now, you do not need to copy these in the parentheses. These are called parentheses. You do not need to worry about that at all. Okay, I would have a copy this last one over here. This last part, which says that furthermore, it means both air moisture and temperature probably are. So R2, I'll just add the whole thing. So let's just read this whole thing first. Muggy is a feels like condition because the muggier the weather, the less chance you'll feel cool because of the decreased evaporation rates. Moreover, dew point temperature is actually a better measure of mugginess, as dew point not only indicates how moist the air is, but also how warm it is as well. Furthermore, it means both air moisture and temperature probably are. R2. I'll just add this thing, okay? So let's have a look. All right. Now I have got all my key points over here. I've got all my content here. I've got my topic sentences sitting in there. If you want to look at it, it is just defining what 𝗲𝐺 is, and it is explaining why do you feel that way. And they're talking about the dew point temperature, which is a better measure. That is a better measure of mugginess because it indicates like how moist the air is, but also how warm. And it means that both air and so if I was to do this, let's say, so if I just add this whole sentence, if the dew point is high, it means both air and temperature probably are too. Okay, let's say I added this as well. It looks a lot better because I was thinking, should I add it, should I not? But it just didn't look good to me and I added it. Now let's say I still have got 65 words, which is absolutely fine. It should not be a problem. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, there you go. So 90 for my summary, my content is 2, my form is 1, my grammar is 2, my vocabulary is 2. There is no mistake. Now, recently I had some people ask me whether the copy-paste method, that means typing the same sentences in your summary, does it work or not? Well, it absolutely does. Please do not worry about being wrong in this. Now, one good thing about the AI that we've added over here is we've also added the explanation, like where would you find the right content and how did we find the right content? Sometimes students forget it, and you can always compare and see like where is the right content over here and see what exactly have you missed, okay? And if you've got any questions, feel free to text us or call us or even visit us for a free one-to-one consultation. So good luck. So I hope that I was able to help you understand the summary. What was the summary? What were the keywords? Or what is the main content of the summary? Remember guys, this is the latest question and it is very likely that you could find it in your real exam as well. Now, for those of you who already have the access to the AI, please make sure that you practice it yourself. And for those of you who have not signed up for the AI, get a free access to your Alchemist AI practice software today and try the summary for yourself and see what scores do you get. And good luck for the test.